you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, go to watch part 1 and then part 2. Here we go. Where was I? What the fuck was I? My mom got kicked out when I was 14. Cops came, skirted off the property, blah blah blah. La la la. Yada yada. Yeah, drugs. My drugs got a lot heavier. From pills and over-the-counter shit, weed, it went to extreme weed, and then from there it went to meth, a lot of meth. For 6 months, all I did was sit in a tweaker pad and smoke meth and get hit by my boyfriend. That's all I did. That was my life, but I loved him, and he cared about me, and he was the first person who made me feel like I was worth anything. And I kind of do miss him every day, even though he used to hit me. There's a whole other side of him that nobody saw. And he was off drugs. He was the most amazing guy in the world. And then he would do drugs. But I did meth for 6 months. A lot of it didn't work, didn't do anything. I used to car hop, I would break into people's garages, break into people's houses. Literally, I rode with a New Hall 13, which is a gang in Santa Clarita Valley. We used to fucking mob, dude. We used to run through houses, shit like that. Spray paint their door, type of shit. Crazy shit, dude. And I remember one time my ex I was on deck with weed. I was selling weed. My ex went to buy a sack, and I was already skeptical about selling to an ex. But I went ahead and I sold to him, and he stole my weed. We got in a car chase. I went to his house, and I robbed his house an hour later. That's just how it is. Bitch, don't fuck with me. But anyway, backtracking though, when I was 16, before I did drugs, what led me to actually do the drugs, aside from being in hell my whole life, was the fact that I went to a party with my friend Katie. We were supposed to stick together. The night was our first party, our first night drinking, our first night ever doing real, drugs. We occasionally smoked weed, not like this though. So, we were gonna stick together, but no, she didn't stick with me at all. That bitch went off with some Asian dude. Some karate dude, alright? And meanwhile, I got dragged in the back room by my ex, who was my ex at the time, and got raped. Because I got roofied. And it was ridiculous. I used to wear on my dog, who I love, truly. All of a sudden, I started getting worried about my friend, Katie, who I went there with. I put myself together, and I got up, and I went out in the backyard to try to find her, to make sure she was okay. Saw her talking to some Asian dude. She was just like, oh, I'm good. She let them do all the talking, I can tell. She was just a little whore. Katie, you're a whore. Yeah. And then I remember going back inside, and some fat Mexican dude comes in, and my ex is like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, he was actually pretty nice. He was talking to me before that. He was like, what are you doing here? You're so young. Like, you don't need to do drugs. And he was really cool. He was like my homie bear. So I remember fucking Anthony, told him to leave, and then I was like, no, he's staying, motherfucker. And, I fell asleep next to a big fat Mexican dude. Nothing happened. I remember that. I remember everything after that. But, yeah, I woke up next to a big fat Mexican dude. And then he ran outside and threw up a lot. And then I got a ride home. I didn't say anything on the ride home. I was just completely quiet. And then when I got there, I started crying to Katie, and I told her what happened. And, that same night, they stole my iPhone, and I paid $1,000 for that iPhone, literally, because we had to make a down payment just to open the account for AT&T, because they were assholes about our credit. They wanted a down deposit, and we get back $500 deposit, and the phone was $500. It was brand new. It was when iPhones first came out. It was horrible. And I had to tell my grandparents that, and I couldn't tell them that I got raped that night because they were so pissed off about my phone. So I kept it to myself for years, even to this day. But yeah. So then, after doing a lot of drugs, found myself in trouble with the law. Got 2 felonies for possession of methamphetamine. One I could have had intent to sell, but thank God I was $20 short that day. And, we had to run around and everything to go get more money. So I didn't have that much on me at the time, and I shoved it up my vagina in the car. I was dating this guy, and he was all like, "Here, I don't know where to put it. Swallow it, swallow it, swallow it." I'm like, "Fool, I can't even swallow a pill." I used to break up my pills and snort them, and if I would swallow them, it'd be like a kind of thing for about 2 minutes, and then they would go down. Don't get me wrong, I love my pills. I cannot swallow a pill. I have my ways. Applesauce. But, so fucking, I don't know where I was, honestly. I'm tired. But yeah, oh yeah. So I was just like, he was like, throw it out the window, and I'm like, no, there's cops everywhere, dude. They were coming at us. They were coming from behind us. They were coming from everywhere. I couldn't throw it out the window, you guys. He was on parole, and the cops were following him. They were following us, dude. We were homeless in his car, and they had been following us for days, doing a fucking investigation to catch us, or there's a name for it I can't think of, but whatever. So they pull us over, and I have my doggy with me. Same doggy I have now, thank God. I have her back, and they were like, "What's going on?" I'm like, I don't know, nothing. They're like, "Get out of the car," and I'm like, "Oh, here we go." Whenever the cops take you out of the car, they're gonna automatically search your car. I knew this from the first time I had my felony with my car that got repossessed. So they, searched the car, and they're like, "What's this? It's a Pookie." I'm like, "No fucking shit." But I don't have any meth on me. So I'm not in trouble. I for paraphernalia, and that's just a ticket, and then I get to go away. But, no, they started telling me, if you tell us, you'll get off for free, but right now, this doesn't look too good. I had nowhere to go, no car, no money, nothing. I had absolutely nothing, you guys. I was in the middle of nowhere. I didn't even have a phone, dude. I had no phone at the time either. So the way that I saw it was either go to jail and then Allie goes to the animal shelter for a while, or I am homeless with nothing. Okay, that's not how I saw it, actually. I wish I had seen it that way. It would have been a lot easier for me. No, they told me all this shit. They're like, a lady cop is gonna come, she's gonna search you. I'm like, can they touch my vagina? And they're like, she can touch wherever, even though she can't touch my vagina. I wish I would have known that back then, but I didn't. So, I was like, look, I have a sack on my vagina. I'm sorry, you guys. Just please don't take me to jail. Please don't take my dog from me. I probably sound like such a tweaker, even though I wasn't. I was someone who had been through a lot of hurt and pain in her life. So, I took the sack out of my vagina right on, like, the main street in Santa Clarita in front of a bunch of people. I was just like, they're like, throw it on the ground, They took a glove and everything. And, like, seriously, my vagina is clean. I'm not that much of a tweaker, okay? Only 6 months. So, I went to jail for